Okay, today we're going to talk about long division and polynomials, but first we're going to kind of review how long division works. I know it's been a long time since you guys have done that. So we're going to take 18,624 divided by 7. So remember, with long division, we want to see how many times this goes into the first appropriate number. So 7 doesn't go into 1, so then we would go to 18. 7 goes into 18 twice, and then we took 2 times 7, you get 14, and then we subtract these two numbers, so 18 minus 14 is 4, and then we bring down the 6, and then we see how many times 7 goes into 46, which would be 6. 6 times 7 is 42. Again, we subtract those two. 6 minus 2 is 4. The 4 minus 4 is 0. Then we bring down the 2. And then 7 goes into 42 6 times. So 6 times 7 is 42. We subtract those two, we get 0. Then we have to bring down the 4. 7 doesn't go into 4, and there's nothing else to bring down, so we put a 0, and then this is my remainder of 4. So again, that's just kind of a quick review on long division using numbers. So now let's look at it in polynomials. So if I want to divide 2x to the third plus 13x squared plus 11x minus 20 divided by x plus 5. So we put the 2x to the third plus 13x squared plus 11x minus 20 inside, and we want to divide it by x plus 5. So we want to look at this and say, okay, how many times does x go into 2x to the third? So it'd be 2x to the second, because 2x to the second times x is 2x to the third. So just like with working with numbers, we take this times this, so we have to distribute. So 2x squared times x is 2x to the third. 2x squared times 5 is positive 10x squared. Now we're also subtracting these two, just like we did with the numbers. We're subtracting 2x cubed plus 10x squared from this. So if we're subtracting it, it's going to change both of these signs. So then we have the 2x cubed minus 2x cubed is 0, 13x squared and negative 10x squared is positive 3x squared. And then we can bring down the plus 11x. Then we want to see, okay, how many times does x go into 3x squared? And that would be a positive 3x. 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times positive 5 is positive 15x. But again, we're subtracting 3x squared plus 15x, so we're going to change the signs. So 3x squared minus 3x squared is 0. 11x and negative 15x is negative 4x, and then I can bring down the minus 20. So how many times does x go into negative 4x would be in negative 4. So negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times positive 5 is negative 20. If we change those signs, because we're subtracting them, this would become a positive, and this would become a positive. So if I add those two, that cancels and that cancels, so I got 0. So I actually have no remainder in this case. So my answer to this would be 2x squared plus 3x minus 4. Okay, let's look at another one. Say we want to divide 8x to the third minus 24x squared plus 8x plus 22 divided by 2x minus 3. So 8x to the third minus 24x squared plus 8x plus 22 divided by 2x minus 3. So again, 2x goes into 8x to the third. 2 times 4 is 8, and then I take away one of the x's basically, so I have x squared. Multiply this out, so 4x to the second times 2x is 8x to the third. 4x squared times negative 3 is negative 12x to the second. But again, you got to remember we're subtracting this, so we're going to change the sign. So this becomes a negative, this becomes a positive. So that cancels. Negative 24x squared and positive 12 is negative 12x squared. Bring down the positive 8x. 2x goes into negative 12x squared, negative 6x times. Negative 6x times 2x is negative 12x squared. Negative 6x times negative 3 is positive 18x. But again, we need to change these signs. So this is going to become a positive, this is going to become a negative. So that would cancel. 8 and negative 18 is negative 10x. And I bring down the positive 22. Then 2x goes into negative 10, negative 5 times. Negative 5 times 2x is negative 10x. Negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15. But again, we're subtracting, so I got to change the signs. So that cancels, and this becomes 7. So I have a remainder of 7. Now, we don't just write R7. Since my remainder is a positive 7, we put plus 7 over what we divided by, which was 2x minus 3. Okay, let's look at negative 9x to the third minus 9x squared plus 7x minus 5 divided by 3x plus 5. So negative 9x to the third minus 9x squared plus 7x minus 5 divided by 3x plus 5. So 3x goes into negative 9x to the third, negative 3x squared. Negative 3x squared times 3 is negative 9x to the third. Negative 3x squared times 5 is negative 15x squared. But again, since I'm subtracting those, change the signs. So that cancels. Negative 9x squared plus 15x squared is 6x squared. Bring down the positive 7x. 3x goes into 6x squared, a positive 2x times. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times 5 is positive 10x. Again, I'm subtracting, so these signs get changed. They're going to be both negative in this case. 6x squared minus 6x squared goes away. 7x and negative 10x is negative 3x. Bring down the minus 5. 3x goes into negative 3x, negative 1 time. Negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. Again, I'm subtracting, so these signs get changed. They're going to be both positive. Both of these would cancel out, so my remainder is 0. So I have negative 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. Now in the last example, the long division I'm going to use, we won't do a whole lot of these in class, but depending on what math class you go into next year, you'll need to know how to do this type. Main thing you need to notice here is it goes from x to the fourth, x to the third, to x. All the other examples that I've had have had like x cubed, x squared, x, and then no x. So they went down. So we're going to have to we're in long division with numbers, you have placeholders. Here, I've got 10x to the fourth minus 17x to the third. There's no x squared, so we have to have a placeholder of plus 0x squared plus x plus 1. And we're dividing that by 5x minus 1. So 5x goes into 10x to the fourth, 2x to the third times. So if I distribute, I get 10x to the fourth minus 2x to the third. Again, subtracting, so these signs get changed. That cancels. I get negative 15x to the third, bring down the plus 0x squared. 5x goes into negative 15x to the third, negative 3x squared times. So if I distribute, I get negative 15x to the third plus 3x squared. Again, subtracting, so change the sign. 0 and negative 3 makes negative 3x squared. Bring down the positive x.